This lady was so dangerous she even fight with her lawyer in courtroom. To her described someone plagued by emotional volatility, sudden outbursts, and a long history of disturbing dreams and hallucinations that blurred the line between reality and imagination. Prosecutors painted her as a violent, unstable partner who had physically lashed out before, while her defense argued she was deeply unwell, haunted by recurring visions of shadowy figures that left her detached from reality. That duality, a troubled young woman battling her own mind, and a perpetrator of extreme violence, defined the way the court and public came to see her. By the time she was sentenced to more than 7 years in prison, Morgan Lund's case had become a haunting example of how untreated mental health struggles and volatile relationships can spiral into tragedy.
I'm looking at the week of May 15 for the trial.
Stop it. Stop it. Rachel, call.
In a quiet Wisconsin neighborhood, a man woke up to the unimaginable, his own girlfriend, the mother of his child, stabbing him again and again with a pair of scissors. 19 wounds, blood everywhere, and a story so chilling it would leave an entire community questioning what was real and what was hallucination. This is the case of Morgan Lund, the Oshkosh woman who claimed she was fighting off a shadowy figure in a dream when in reality, she was attacking the man she once loved. Was it psychosis? A violent outburst? Or something far darker hiding beneath the surface? If you're into true crime stories that dig beneath the headlines, you're in the right place. Make sure you like this video, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss the cases we uncover here. And trust me, you're going to want to hear how this one ends. On the morning of February 18, 2023, police in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, rushed to a home on the 500 block of Jefferson Street. Inside, they found a man drenched in blood, his back and chest carved with deep stab wounds. He was barely conscious, but alive. The alleged attacker? 21-year-old Morgan Taylor Lund, the mother of his young child. According to the criminal complaint, Lund's story was bizarre and haunting. She told officers she had been dreaming or hallucinating that a dark, shadowy figure was attacking her ex-boyfriend. In the fog of confusion, she grabbed a pair of scissors and stabbed at the figure again and again. Only when the blood pooled and the screams pierced through did she realize the truth: she hadn't been saving him from a phantom. She had been stabbing him. The victim somehow survived despite 19 stab wounds to his scalp, chest, back, and hands. He later told investigators that Lund had a history of aggression, often violent during fights, but that nothing in their past prepared him for this. Lund's behavior afterward added another layer of complexity. After attacking him, she reportedly tried to administer first aid, pressing cloths to his wounds in a panic. Was this remorse? Or another wave of her confused state of mind? When prosecutors charged her with attempted first-degree intentional homicide, they painted her as a danger not only to her ex, but to anyone around her. Defense attorneys countered that she was deeply unwell, a young woman plagued by hallucinations, sleep disturbances, and violent dreams that blurred into reality. By August 2023, she entered a plea, no contest, paired with an insanity defense, a strategy that would force the court to examine her mental state as much as her actions. But here's the twist: this was not the first time signs of instability had surfaced. Her past held red flags, whispers of prior incidents, troubling behavior, and mental health struggles that foreshadowed the stabbing. And when those details came to light, the courtroom would face a chilling question. Was this truly the act of a woman lost in psychosis, or was it something far darker hiding beneath the surface? When investigators peeled back the layers of Morgan Lund's life, a disturbing pattern began to emerge. Friends and family described her as someone who had long battled emotional instability. She often spoke of vivid dreams, sometimes night terrors, sometimes hallucinations, where she saw shadowy figures lurking near her bed. These visions had reportedly followed her since adolescence, but they had grown more intense in the years before the stabbing. Her relationship with the victim, the father of her child, was rocky from the start. He told police Lund had been physically abusive in the past, slapping, scratching, and screaming fits that escalated into violence during fights. But none of those earlier incidents were as extreme as what happened in February 2023. Court records showed that in the months before the stabbing, Lund was spiraling. She spoke of being followed by dark forces, of hearing things that others could not. In one chilling note from the criminal complaint, she told police she believed the dark figure was not human, an entity she had seen many times before. Her defense attorneys leaned hard on this, arguing that Lund wasn't in her right mind when she attacked her ex. They entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity, suggesting her mental health collapse blurred her grip on reality. But prosecutors countered with a harsher narrative. They said Lund knew what she was doing. After all, she stabbed her ex 19 times, a level of violence they argued went far beyond a confused dream state. They highlighted the victim's testimony, that Lund had a history of aggression and violent outbursts. This wasn't an isolated break, they claimed, but a continuation of a dangerous pattern. In the end, the jury and judge had to weigh two pictures of Morgan Lund. One, a young mother tormented by hallucinations, lashing out in a confused haze. The other, a violent, unstable woman who nearly killed the father of her child. The final decision would determine not only her fate, but also how the justice system viewed crimes committed under the shadow of mental illness. By the time Morgan Lund stood before a Winnebago County judge in late 2023, the courtroom was split between two narratives. On one side sat the prosecution, who described her as a calculated abuser whose violent tendencies escalated until nearly fatal. They emphasized the 19 stab wounds, deep punctures to the chest, back, hands, and scalp, and argued that no dream, no hallucination, could explain away such brutal intent. On the other side stood the defense, portraying her as a young mother trapped in psychosis, haunted by visions of shadowy figures. They argued she never meant to harm her ex, that her brain betrayed her, turning a dream into a waking nightmare. The victim himself delivered the most gut-wrenching testimony. He told the court that while he survived, his body and mind bore scars he might never heal from. He recalled waking up to scissors tearing into his flesh, fighting to push her off, then feeling her attempt to patch his wounds after realizing the horror of what she had done. It wasn't just the physical pain, he said, it was the betrayal, the knowledge that the mother of his child nearly killed him in his sleep. When Judge Daniel Bissett delivered his ruling, the courtroom fell silent. Lund, just 22 years old, was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. 5 years extended supervision after release. Additional probation on related charges. The judge's words cut through. While her mental health struggles were real, they did not erase the seriousness of her actions or the danger she posed. As deputies led Lund away in handcuffs, the case left the community unsettled. Was this a tragic cautionary tale of untreated mental illness? Or proof that warning signs of violence ignored will always lead to escalation? For the victim, survival was both a blessing and a burden, a daily reminder of a night when love, fear, and violence collided in the most horrifying way. And for Morgan Lund, prison would be more than punishment. It would be the place where she would either confront her demons, or be consumed by them.